Hey YouTube, what's up? D3adplz streams here. You know what we did? Well, we did something cool, unique to the channel, and I thought you all would like to see it. What did we do, you ask? Well, we did a PC build. I am a PC builder. I do it for work. I also enjoy doing it for friends when they want a PC. And one friend just recently came up to me and he said, you know what, man? I think rather than buying the next generation of console, I'd like to get into PC gaming. And I said, that's a smart move, and I can help with that. He gave me his budget. I gave him a list of parts I wanted to put into there that matched that budget, and he said, let's do it. I ordered them, had them shipped to me. They showed up. We scheduled a time. He came over, and not only did we build the PC, but we streamed it live. We had fun. It was me, him, my wife. We got to read the chat. We had some laughs. The community had a good time. And I think the community learned some things about PC building along the way. Now I'd like to reach beyond our live stream and help everybody to get maybe some more info on the PC building world. And maybe you're going to want to build your own PC in the future and you want to go to this video with any questions you might have. You also may want to just reach out personally. I have a Discord. You can get connected with that. The links are in the description below. We also stream every Monday night, Wednesday night, and Friday nights on Twitch at 7 p.m. EST. So you can tune in then, and you can just ask me anything. You know, I'm there. I'm ready to answer some questions. We're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do that, remember, if you like this video, then like the video. And if you really like the video, then subscribe. You know, seriously, though. Smash that sub button. I really appreciate it. We're growing the community here at D3adplz Streams, and we want you to be a part of it. All right, let's roll it. What? Oh, clip that! Hit me. Hit me. Yeah, I'll help you. Raybert? That was scary. A unique sword. Diamond sword? What the frick? Alright, start getting him up. I'll guard you because I actually have his health. Yeah, there's a victory. I was stuck in a room, but there's a victory. One shot, he's dead. Nice! Whoa, baby! Let's go! Whoa! What? No way! Whew. That one almost got me, chat. Alright, guys. Here we are. D3adplz Streams here. We're doing a PC build tonight. This is the guy we're building it for here. Mr. Eli Schweitzer. Oh, gosh. We've got all the different things we're putting in. This is just a keyboard and mouse. We've got a 1 terabyte SSD. We've got some 16 gigs, 2 8 gig sticks of XPG RAM, DDR4 obviously. We've got a 500 gig M.2. We got our ROG Strix B450 series with the built-in RGB lighting because RGB lighting is fun. We've got Ryzen 5 2600X 6-core processor. Radeon 5500 XT 700 watt. It's just a thermal take. It's nothing super crazy, but it is 700 watts, so we'll handle the new Aperture cards when they're finally released and bots stop buying them. Then the big boy over here, if you follow me, we couldn't fit that on the counter. But we haven't even unboxed it yet. This showed up today. That right there, folks, is the water cooler. No, I'm just kidding. This is the this is the tower. So we're gonna go ahead and crack that open. Let's just, since we're in the kitchen, we got plenty of knives to choose from. Beauty of kitchen building. At least we know it was packaged safe and sound all the way from California. Oh yeah. All right. There we are. Right back on. Well, let's get this out first because this is gonna probably be just as hard. So go ahead and pull down while I pull up on the styrofoam part.
This is a lot easier.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, she's a pretty one.
So here's the tower. Now,
Are you grabbing that?
yeah. Go ahead. So go ahead and get a close up on this front section here. We've got the fans. So y'all should be able to see pretty well. Yeah, you're gonna have to be back a little bit probably. That's all.
Okay, there we go.
And then so it's got 3 RGB lit fans on the front, and then 2 more in the back. If I spin this around, you might be able to see those right through there. So we got 2 here, one top, one bottom. On the top here, we've got magnetic dust cover and room for more fans on the top if we wanted to do a water cooler down the road or anything. This case is future proof. This case will fit any motherboard of any size, and it will take all the future upgrades. How do you enter the giveaway?
You pay him lots of
You
money.
just gotta pay lots of money for giveaways. Inside again, you can see these fans. We got a little construction kit.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what we need. Room for our power supply here. SSDs can go on underneath this box section in the back. Also can be mounted to this panel on the back as well. This is where our motherboard's going to go. We've got plenty of wiring already in place, so we can hook up all these fans. They're already the cords are already hidden well in the back. We've got plenty of slots to bring the cords front through without having a whole bunch of cable management going on. This off. Power, reset, standard USBs, USB 3.0s, microphone, headphones, and then this is your RGB cycling for the fans and anything else that's plugged into that dock. I'm just gonna bring this over here. Try to get you guys an angle inside the box here. Awesome job with the 2 live feeds. Thanks, man. Technically we have 3, which is nice. So we have the main back shot, which is my normal digital SLR that you guys see my side profile section normally. We have the webcam, which I just got sitting here, so I'll use that for like close-ups on the board and installation of everything in here. And then we also have the I just got an S10e for my new phone, and Eli's kind of being cameraman while he checks all this stuff out too.
The best cameraman that I could
The
be.
best cameraman he could be.
With no experience.
So there you go. So we got our interior angle, on the move, on the go angle over here, and our main shot. So we should be able to do this pretty smoothly, and everybody should be able to enjoy it. So first things first, we got to put together our motherboard situation here. All right. So on this board, we do have the ability to do dual graphics cards if he ever so chooses, along with, technically he could do 3, but they don't ever, that's not a thing. People don't use 3 cards. Then we have 4 expansion slots for DDR, so he can do up to, let's see, what is that, 128 gigs of RAM now, I think is max for this board. And then we have a few regular PCIs. So he could do things like capture cards and stuff like that if he wanted to, or extra USB 3.0s or even USB-Cs if he wanted to. Come on over. We've got USB Type-C. We've got our standard USBs for like a mouse and keyboard. We've got USB 3.0s. And then we have our Ethernet jacks and our standard audio jacks down here. This does have the traditional, older style keyboard and mouse hookup if needed, but pretty much nobody's using that, and that's on its way out. So, but if he had one kicking around and for some reason his system went down, he'd have all the options for hookups.
Yeah, along with like a hand crank motor. And
Yes. So we are going to go ahead and just keep this box because I want to use it to start putting things in. So, Eli, you want to go grab me the Ryzen CPU box, please? We'll go ahead and drop that in first. This, on any AMD board, you got this pin that lifts up. If you don't lift that up, you're going to damage your CPU trying to put it in. So, on these, one of the things you have to do, and I'll get close to this one since it's not blurry, is on these Ryzens, you'd have to take the pin here and make sure that you line it up with the same notch on here. So there's going to be a little triangle notch in one of these corners. In this case, it's pointed here. And you have to line up the 2 notches, or else you'll really mess up the board trying to shove it in there wrong. And those pins, there's about like 1,000 of them on the bottom. If one of those snaps, you're in trouble. Once you have that in there, you just push this down. That's going to lock everything into place, and you're good to go. That's a pretty easy one. The nice thing about the Ryzens, the other reason I like using them, they are made for gamers. They know what gamers want, and gamers want simplicity when they're getting things built so they can get it done fast and get gaming. So they actually ship all of their brand new CPUs with the fans for the system already. They already come set up with the heatsink thermal paste on it, so you don't actually have to apply any thermal paste. If you do, you're going to have more than you actually need.
Oh, nice.
So that's beautiful. The downside to this current setup is it's set up for an older style AMC one with the latch system. So I got a flathead and a regular Phillips just in case, so we're all set, and some needle nose pliers. In theory, all we should need is the Phillips, though.
This man's ready to do surgery.
Once we line this up, we get these dropped in place.
There we go. Aha! You got it, boys.
Now I can just go.
Right? Yeah, it will be fine. He's a computer genius.
What did they say?
Dr. Freezy said it'll be fine.
Yeah. Mostly just trying not to warp the board at all by like
Cramming down
on it on one spot. Once you get the 2 points across from each other done, then you're fine. These actual coolers and the CPU itself and stuff take a lot of pressure. In fact, it's going to have to, because in order to make that tight, what this does is it pulls all of the heat off the CPU. The CPU can get anywhere from like 100 to 300 degrees if it's not cooled properly. So in this one, what do we got now?
Dr. Freezy, now just mash it in there, put some duct tape on it.
Pretty much.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. As long as the fan turns on, it'll work. So we gotta find the one that's labeled for the CPU fan, because case fans will not work right. So we have CPU right here. So any of these two are related to the CPU fan. So we can put it into these ones over here. We're gonna go ahead and pop that in here. All right, so now that we got the CPU in place, our next one is going to be the actual RAM sticks. So these are nice because they're RGB lit. So as soon as that case fires up, you're gonna have some colors.
You're just like,
There you go.
Professional cameraman.
Professional cameraman.
A whole,
Stand in one place and spin. Yep.
All of my 20
nice.
minutes of experience.
Very, very.
All right, so one of the things a lot of people do wrong in these, and in some cases, the boards themselves actually are slotted in different colors. We went for an all black board, so they didn't do that. I guess they could have done some like gray in here because there's other parts that have some gray, but not really. One of the things a lot of people do wrong is they take these and they'll actually just stick them in right next to each other. And you would think normally, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, you just stick them right next to each other. But in actuality, what you're missing out on is a motherboard has the ability to do what's called dual channel. Dual channel means that you have two separate channels pulling from these sticks. Therefore, it's taking less for your motherboard and your CPU to pull the data from these sticks if you're doing it across two systems instead of one. If you're doing one channel, you can still do it. It's just going to be kind of like one throughway for all of the cars. You know, if you have multiple lanes, that traffic's going to flow a lot better. Whereas if you have one lane, you're going to lose some of that.
Makes sense to me.
We'll make a YouTube video out of this for people who miss it. The other one we can do, because we're actually on to things, we're going to be sticking the whole motherboard into the system soon. But we do have one more thing we can install now, and that is the M.2. Because that's just going to go on the board, and then it's going to be out of the way. We don't have to try to fit it in later. So, believe it or not, this little guy here holds 500 gigs of storage. To put this in perspective, 10 years ago,
that would hold 1 gig of storage.
A flash drive that might hold, 1 gig, 512 megabytes. This holds 500 gigabytes. So, but
crazy. We're
going to take that over here. We've got our slot right here that this nestles into. And the one thing I did notice is we might not have a screw. Oh, nope, here we go. We're good.
We came prepared.
Magnetic multi-tool for the win.
Here we go.
And we are in. All right. Now we got to see where there should be screws that came with the case. They might be in the bottom where the SSDs go. All right. So closer look on this backside. Now that we got it open, if you want, Eli, I'm gonna pull out the tray here, hard drive tray, which is where our crazy plethora of screws are, and our remote for the RGBs.
Nice.
We got plenty of zip ties in here for more cable management. Some extensions for extra fans if we want to hook up extra fans. You guys can see those. Right, we'll get you guys another angle here for the motherboard installation. Oh, they're built in ahead of time now. I keep forgetting that. See, that's the I/O shield. Back in the day, for anybody who doesn't know, these were completely uncovered, and you had to actually pop the I/O shield into the case before putting the motherboard in.
Wow.
They're helping you skip a step, because again, they know how gamers are, and gamers like to be quick and easy with their
Yeah, we just want to throw it together
PC
and game.
builds so that they can game. Yep. So he's building like.
What does that part mean? The cores?
So the cores is your CPU. Every CPU has a certain amount of cores. To put it in perspective, the one we're putting in today has 6 cores, and he's talking about ones with
a
few hundred. It's true. It can.
That would be me. If I tried to build this thing right now, everything would go wrong.
I would literally be sitting on YouTube watching a 5-hour video
On how to do
on
it.
how to do
If
it.
it took
And then,
5
As I do
hours?
it step by step.
yeah, it would take 5 hours. It'd be ridiculous.
Oh no. That can't be good.
Well, we've reached the first of the only downside is this case seems to have come with one screw that was not very good.
Oh.
So we're gonna go ahead and just swap out real quick. That's why I grabbed the needle nose pliers. I thought there might be a chance we would have something like this happen. We were screwing that in, and it snapped off. These are the little things that make PC building take longer. For those of you who don't, do this all the time, you have these little things pop up. Not every build. Sometimes you have a build that just goes really smooth. But having like a snoo scrap off.
A snooze.
A screw snap off.
Ah, snoo.
Having a snooze scrap off.
We're just stews and scraps over here. It's no big deal.
Favorite candy bar. Jared, what's your favorite candy bar?
Alright, favorite candy bar. That would be a Kit Kat.
Actually, a question.
You guys haven't found this out yet. Kit Kats, you throw them in the freezer and eat them when they're frozen. They're a lot better that way.
So I have 2 more screws, it looks like, and then we will have... These boards typically have 9 screws total. Cross them in order to screw them down. Once we have all 9 in, good to go. This is one of the more... This is a larger board. You can get like ATX minis, things like that. Those take about half of this space. Those are what you put into the mini towers so that you can, still fit everything. They typically just don't have this like bottom half here. But we have in this case 9, 3 here, 3 across the middle, and 3 across the bottom. We've got all of them in now. It's nice and secure. We can tip this thing upright, and we won't have to worry about losing anything.
I think your phone's lagging just a little bit.
It is with it being wireless.
Yeah.
So we got that done. If you want to come over to this side, Eli, you can show them how now this panel matches up with this cutout. So now all of our different slots and things are right there.
All right, next box.
We got to put some power in this thing. Graphics card, we'll put in that in last so we can tie everything in without issue. So you will see when I open this, there will be plenty of cables
Holy cow.
that we have to plug in with this
That
thing.
is, yeah, it looks like a car computer.
Alright, so this is your power supply. This is what powers everything. We've got our power switch. We've got our hookup through our jack here where we go into the wall. This is just Thermaltake Smart Series. And we got our ketchup and mustard cables, as people like to call them. If he ever wants to get sleeves or extensions for these, just to make them completely black, he can do that. But we weren't going to worry about buying something more just because it would change this cable sleeves. He can just put extensions on them at some point if he wants. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward box. Nothing.
It looks all simple till you look at the spaghetti ends.
Yeah.
Am I in
You're
your
going from
way?
behind.
Going in from behind. I'm putting it on upside down. So don't make that mistake, because I've done that actually. I used to think this fan, in order to breathe, had to be put in that direction. The fan, actually, you have to put it in towards the bottom, because there's a vent on the bottom, and there's little risers, like feet pads, to allow the air through. What's being said? I can't actually read it from here.
Laura says you guys are putting together a toaster oven.
Oh, nice.
The Bearded Fox says I'm running the same power supply except, 1500 watt. Dr. Freezy says, all right,
All I
Beard,
see
you
is
get
my
it, bro.
He has 6 screens, so
What?
he has 6 screens for his computer.
Who?
Can
The
he-
Bearded?
Bearded, he said.
Dr. Freezy says it probably looks like a CIA headquarters.
It probably does.
Little do you know, it is the CIA headquarters.
He's got a crazy setup. Like, the man streams too.
Bro.
Alright, so we'll bring it over to this side real quick, Eli, and we'll show him just what this looks like. So once we're screwed in, we've got 4 different screws here. They just mount right into the case. And then this is all you should see. And then your fan points down so you can get good exhaustion still. So
We want this computer to be exhausted by the time I'm done.
exhausted. It's
Oh, man.
alright, bring it around, Eli. Here's our cable right here. Bring it through this notch so we can plug it in. A lot of PC building, this is the easy part. A lot of PC building is just shape matching game. You know that little octagon looking game you used to play as a toddler where you had to flip around the sides and get the shapes in correct? That's PC building in a nutshell. Find the hole that fits. This is
Discovery Toys. Shout out to Discovery Toys.
there you go. If you'd like to sponsor this, Discovery Toys, always looking for new sponsors. So, and these are just clips on the side here, so you're going to match your clip up with a little tab on the outside. So in this case, we're going to have to flip this. It's a little stiff from packaging, but we'll get it. And click it in, you're going to hear it click. At that point, you can kind of bend these over a little bit without having to worry. They're pretty rugged cables, so we don't have to really worry about damaging them. USB 3.0 / our entire dash and different things that are up top here. So this is going to come through and go right into the board as well. We've got all of our other little PC case parts here. These are going into the board. These are the easiest to miss part when you come to building a PC. And if you miss these, none of the buttons, the lights, nothing will work up here. So turning on your computer will be a little difficult unless you have a motherboard with a built-in power switch. There is actually labels underneath this. All these points are actually where I'm going to be plugging in all these mini cables here. But there's actual labels underneath that are going to tell me what goes where. So, and if we can't figure it out by that, then we will go ahead and look at the manual, because the manual will also tell us in nice big lettering and pictures. So USBs, there we are. All right, here's our panel. HDD LED plus, HD LED negative. All right, so I know we've got that one here.
Wow.
Okay. Then we've got power LED negative on the top. So we're gonna go ahead and find our power switch.
Pink.
Dr.
LED.
Freezy said pinheaders are the devil. I
Yeah.
don't know why they haven't come up with a better way.
You'd think they'd at least have, but I guess it's just none of the motherboard companies are building them identical, so they have to come up with a way to do it with function. But if they could get all the motherboard companies on the same page, then you're right. They could definitely come up with a better system of doing this. Power button
That's why Jared's my best friend.
in the ground, and the reset switch in the
Stop.
bottom.
Fine,
Power
you can
on
have
top.
one twin, I'll have the other.
There you go. That's the nice thing about knowing some twins. One for both of us.
Not in a weird way, though.
Yeah, not in a weird way. Let's
Like
clarify. All right. So by the diagram in the book, we should be all set with those. They are, like Doctor said, the devil. And luckily we're done with the
So
devil.
we just navigated the devil. Yeah.
You are the devil and you are bad. Go ahead and we'll try to find our SATA 1, which is right here on the top, looks like. Now, as of right now, our board is hooked up to our power supply. Our fans are hooked up. We have the case fans themselves we got to plug in. And we got to drop in our graphics card. And then this sucker will be done. So we're really quick gonna open this thing up so we can look at the beauty that it is. We've got our MSI 5500XT. It will run 4K, which is good because he's got 4K, especially with the CPU paired with it. And it will also handle VR if he ever wants to check out VR. So he's good to go. And then give it a couple years, these new Aperture cards will be, well stocked, and we won't have to fight bots for them. And then he can size up one more or go to the latest AMD series if he wants to stay with AMD, which is my recommendation because AMD only seems to be getting better. So NVIDIA, guys, are going to have to start catching up. So for these, we'll set the card over there. We've got our expansion slots here. We're going to be taking out the top bay here, I believe. The 2 top bays, because this also has a ventilation. No problem. This also has a ventilation shaft here. So we're going to want to make sure we get this lined up right. So we're going to be taking out these 2. So not quite the top one because there's a regular. And we want to get these right here. So we're going to be taking out the next 2 down. Yeah, he might have to downgrade the resolution of a couple of those games to do full 4K at 60 frames. But the Xbox One X can only do 4K at 30. So
Yeah.
the one thing I do, this is a little pet peeve of mine. I've seen it on one case before in my life where they actually matched up little slots in the side of the frame for where I'm trying to screw right now, so you did not have to bend the screwdriver sideways. You could go at it right straight on. And that was a little pet peeve of mine that I feel like that's a little bit of a simple thing to add that cutout, and a lot of companies don't do it. So I'm like, come on guys, this is not that difficult.
This right here is the remote for the Death Star.
Yep.
I'm also gonna be hacking into the Chinese government. Oops, shouldn't have said that.
I was gonna say, there goes my stream. Boop, gone. Thanks, guys. So on the back, we do have a plethora of cables. We'll have to do some cable management here. Following the mess here back to the cable slots on your motherboard, so you could have up to 5 more hard drives if you wanted them.
Ha! You hear that, Bearded? I'm coming after you. I'm just kidding.
Don't make him flex again. Don't make him flex his build again. We already know it's
Should
our
be like
best one around.
70 hours.
It's like 70.
monitors.
I got 100 terabytes, bro. Let's go. It's funny.
I'll be able to start up my computer and shut it down before you can press your power button.
You gonna blink? Oh, well, you already lost.
Dr. Freely says we gotta make this thing blow up. Not the PC, the stream.
That's right.
A tardy
Do
penguin.
you think we're done on the
And people just call me
backside?
tardy.
Uh-huh.
So we'll go ahead and put the backside
I
panel
know, I
back
love
on
that.
correctly. We'll go ahead and hit power. We're going to see what happens. If I did everything right, it'll turn on. If I did everything wrong, it probably won't.
And
we'll lose
power to the whole town.
Yeah, the whole town power down. All of our little town. It's a good sign.
Ooh! Look at those beautiful colors.
Is this on, Eli?
Yes, it is.
Okay. There it is. Posted. You want to move back a little bit?
Yeah.
We just saw our posting screen. Posted. We've got all of our pretty lights, all of our unicorn explosions. Keyboard and mouse lighting up. Looks like we can run our setup, so we're going to go ahead and do that.
There it is.
All right.
That's cool.
So now all we have to do is go ahead and install Windows 10. We'll go ahead and end the stream, and then we'll come back when we've gotten everything finalized, got him set up out here with Windows 10 running and games to show off. The final setup of the PC, we got it up and running, and it's stepping in the other room, so the mic's gonna.
stuff installing. Destiny 2 is about halfway done. I'm not sure if Tarkov is done at this point. Did Tarkov finish?
Probably.